Here we go. So this session is now being recorded. If for any reason we don't want to have it shown up on YouTube, please let me know. But many of our videos is actually on our YouTube educational channel. And the way to get to our YouTube educational channel is you simply go to ICIWorld.com, and I'm going to show it to you. You go to our main website, ICIWorld.com, and for members and for brokers, you click on this button down at the bottom, and when you click on it, you can go down the page further and you will see a YouTube channel. You can click on this YouTube, and when you get there, you're going to see nothing but training of how to help brokers make money in real estate. And as everyone knows, if you haven't seen it, pardon me, you got to read the testimonials on ICI World. In fact, we showed you at the beginning, literally every single member here can actually make money using the internet through ICI World. Of course, you can do it in other ways as well. We're not saying it's the only way, but we're saying you better take advantage of this one or you are missing out. And we're going to kind of show you what you can be missing if you're not on this particular service, and also taking advantage of the internet in some unique ways that we're going to be showing you today. So these are videos that you can actually see on your own time, and you can see when they're recorded, and you can actually just click on them. Every single video that's here from the last number of years, I think there's a little arrow where you can go down and see more, load more. Every single video is still applicable to this day. The other thing we do is we attend Realtor Quest each year, and this is an example of Realtor Quest. We were there. It's actually the biggest real estate show in the world. And you're going to see that we have a booth there, and our booth is actually one of the busiest booths at the whole show. And one of the reasons is because we make a statement that you could have a $30,000 website and it's not as powerful as the websites from ICI World. And that's because of the special listings that we have for your website, and you will see that that's what we're marketing here, is you can put the listings on your website, and the listings are triggering leads, and they're more likely to trigger leads than any other service because nobody can click on the links, and we're going to sort of demonstrate that today as well. So that's from our ICI World YouTube channel. The next thing you can also do, welcome Nikki. In fact, Nikki, I'm just going to introduce you here, and we actually have a live webcam right now. So, you know, if you want to just come over right here and just say hi, Nikki's in the room. You can say hi to everybody, Nikki.
Do you want coffee?
Coffee would be great. Just regular milk and sweetener. And then we're happy. We're going to continue on with everyone that's online. So we're broadcasting live from the studio at Sutton and real estate, and we're going to continue on here. Okay, I'm going to just go back up here 1 second and make sure that you can all install. If you have any trouble, any questions, you all should have a pad of paper and a pencil, because we're going to start moving along fairly quickly here. And we're going to recommend that all your questions that you have after the show, and because we're going to be moving on, what you do when you want to ask them, you go to this website again called ICIWorld.com, and you click on Make an Appointment. And when you click on Make an Appointment, you're going to see that you can make a 30-minute appointment or a 60. And if you only want 15 minutes, book a 30-minute appointment. And if you're finished in 10 minutes, then that's fine, not a problem. When you click on this, and it says I maybe just experience a degraded audio quality. People, there is a chat window on your screen, and if you're having trouble with the chat window, if you're having trouble hearing me, please let me know in the chat window, problems listening, because I can switch to a telephone if necessary. Okay, so is there a problem hearing me? I'm going to say, can you hear me? Good. Could you please answer yes in the chat window to all those people that are listening? Can you hear me clearly? And you need to type in the chat window. I've got here no problem with the audio from one. Anyone else? And yes, you can hear me. Very good. Thank you, people. If there's any problems, please type it in the chat window. Okay, great. Everyone can hear me. So you can book a 30-minute appointment, and looks like this is working to try to come up. Looks like there's a little issue there on the internet. I don't know what it is, but we're getting a little issue there refreshing that particular page. And let me see if we're on the internet. We'll try it one more time. Make an appointment, and let's refresh it and see what happens. And we're having a little problem there. It's the first time I've seen that problem, but those are kind of issues that crop up on the internet. But you just click on make an appointment, and we're happy to spend time with you. Absolutely no problem. We like getting everybody utilizing the broker services for the industry. Okay, let's start up here and get going. Now, there is a lot of money, of course, being made on the internet for real estate. And when you read all those other testimonials of people making tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars through using ICIWorld, a lot of it was on exclusive information. And today's one of the main things today that everyone, hopefully we can share with you and help you do, and that is working exclusive information to show you how you can make a lot more money in addition to what you're already making at your real estate board, wherever your real estate board is. I know I'm on in Toronto right now, but we get listeners in listening to these videos even years from now, from all over North America, from Fort Lauderdale in Florida to California and Vancouver and Montreal and the whole works. So this is very, very exciting because it applies to every broker and salesperson in the world. I personally believe it's every bit as significant as the invention of MLS itself, which occurred in the late 1800s, where you had brokers get together and say, I would like to share my information. If you share your information with me, I'll share my information with you. That was actually the very beginnings of MLS itself. We have the same thing, but the difference is you have to have a signed listing to put it on a real estate board. Whereas with ICIWorld, there is a way to work information, and we're going to show you how to do it when you're in compliance, in the case of Ontario, with RICO, which is the Real Estate Council of Ontario, which licenses everyone. And we're going to show you how to do it in compliance with RICO. And as long as you do not identify the property or give an address, you can say, if you have, we're saying that get the proverbial permission at the very least. If you can get a signed listing, you don't have to do this. But if you can't get a signed listing and somebody says, I want to sell my property, I'd like to bring me in a buyer, I'll pay you a commission, but I don't want to give you a listing at this time, well, there's a way to ask them 3 special questions, and you get your cameras ready because you'll be able to take a picture of it on the screen here partway through the seminar. This seminar will be placed on the internet later on today in our educational YouTube channel. And it'll also be placed on our GoToMeeting channel that we have as well. So we're going to just demonstrate more than 5 things actually, and this is based on working with brokers and salespeople for the last 20 years, one-on-one from the ground up, learning through the school of hard knocks, and we've learned what works and what does not work. On your phones, if you have ICIWorld.mobi, bring up testimonials and start looking through them yourselves. I'm not going to go through it here because you can also do it on your phones at ICIWorld.mobi. See if you can click on testimonials and start going through them. It's very exciting, and these people should be an inspiration for you to make money on the internet. I'm telling you now, people, this is cutting-edge services. It's cutting-edge ideas. Although we've been doing it for 20 years, everyone's just finally getting all these beautiful $500 and $1,000 beautiful mobile phones and everything else. And really, what the phones are there to do is to deliver the kind of information that we're collecting on ICIWorld from the whole industry, from all the licensed real estate brokers and salespeople in the industry. Now, how to work exclusive information gives you extra opportunities to make money that you do not have now. The average real estate broker has between 0 and 3 and maybe 5 at the most listings on a real estate board, which essentially is almost like being out of business. So you're kind of trying to get more business. Well, with information, you can have 15 opportunities working for you at any one time. And we're going to show you that that's every bit as good or better because it gives you opportunities that you can't make on a real estate board to make money. And these exclusive opportunities trigger leads just like regular real estate board listings do. The beauty of MLS is when you place it on MLS, It goes on the internet where there's 3.5 billion people. It's exciting. It's the best medium ever known to man. But in addition to that, where ICIWorld comes in is our specialty working with information, which we call all information that's not on a real estate board. We're calling it exclusive because it's all encompassing. It could be somebody says, a friend of yours, bring me in a buyer for my property, I'll pay you a commission. There's a way to network that kind of information. And when I use the word information, I'm saying that it could be listed, but it may not be listed. In fact, of the 30,000 listings on ICIWorld, 75% of them are actually exclusive, not on real estate boards, and unique on this real estate broker information service for the world, which still is not understood by the general industry yet, because mainly commercial brokers have been doing it. They've been treating it exclusively for their own competitive advantages. You can't blame them. I have one broker did 3 deals in one day. He doesn't even go in the office and do his business. He just turns in his deals and that's it. And he works from home. He doesn't share this with anyone else. When I asked him, could I do an article in the Toronto Star? He said yes. He called me back 5 minutes later and says, Gary, I don't want to do it. I don't want everybody kind of knowing my business, because when somebody calls you, if you put a classified ad in a paper for, say, a shopping center or a $2 million home, somebody calls you, you go sell it, and you make $50,000, you like to quietly go about your own business. And that's really what ICIWorld is all about, just quietly going about your own business. Now, methods to get more listings. This is very exciting because there's a lot of FSBOs out there, and with the advent of the internet, there's more residential people trying to sell properties themselves privately, and so you're going to see all these FSBO services popping up. Now, I have a little professional agreement. Now, this is my opinion, that to list the property on an MLS for $1, $99, $3.99, I personally don't agree with it, and I'm entitled to my opinion just like you might be entitled to yours, okay? Because I feel that there's so much professionalism and work that is attached to the terms that we've been using in real estate for 40 years in my case, that it's kind of being watered down. And so any Tom, Dick, or Harry can actually give that person a call. It could be a motorcycle group, although there's good ones and there's bad ones in every area. They could be going through the house and, it's just there's no control. And how about the representations? It's not being looked after by qualified real estate people. And that's terrible because there's a lot of problems, a lot of court cases going on that people are not hearing about because a realtor was not involved who could have protected you. There's over 40 things, important legal things that real estate people do to protect every trade in real estate. And it's not worth it to try to do it yourself because the purchaser is just going to subtract the price anyways from what he thinks the commission is. So you're not even saving the commission when you think about it. If you're an owner of a property, you might as well just hire a realtor right off the bat and get going. Now, in the case of for sale by owners from some of these other real estate companies, you can talk directly to the owner. You can ask 3 questions of anybody that's trying to sell their house for sale privately and get their verbal permission, and they're going to be surprised that you will say, will you pay me a commission if I bring you in a buyer? That's almost inherent in every FSBO when you think about it. They're in areas of 2.5%, that kind of thing, to pay the selling broker. The second question is you want to make sure you are covered. Even though we are working exclusive information, it does not mean that we don't put an agreement in place first before showing the property or divulging an address to someone. So you want to get that agreement that you're covered somehow by a listing agreement. Sometimes they're already in place. A lot of times they're not. And then if you cannot get it from the owner, you go get it from your buyer. And I recommend that you get yourself a meeting with your broker of record, the manager of your office, and go over how you can get paid by your buyer. The average real estate person could spend as much in their career, as much as an hour or 2 trying to get a listing on a property in a listing presentation. But they spend less than 5 minutes trying to get a buyer broker's agreement. Well, that should be turned around. That should be more time trying to get a buyer broker's representation. And you'll say to them, listen, if I show you this one particular property on this one day, would you mind paying me a commission? What's the difference if you buy it for 2.1 and they pay me 100,000 commission, or you buy it for $2 million and you pay me $100,000 commission. We can negotiate the commission, but the point is you won't get to see that property unless you pay me a commission, because I need something in writing to cover myself. Now, when you start showing activity to a for sale by owner, we know in the industry, according to the National Association of Real Estate, that 90% of the listings in the world for sale by owner are actually sold by licensed real estate brokers and salespeople. So if you can show some activity to all these FSBOs that are out there, if they don't sell their properties, then they are more likely to maybe list with you because you have shown some activity, and we're going to show you how to do that today. Another cutting edge service that's brand new, people don't know about it. I'm saying people don't know about it generally. It's not industry-wide knowledge yet. Everybody's surprised to hear about it, and then they start checking it out, and because we've got a lot of information on our website, they can get lost and they get put off. But we call them widgets. What is a widget? It's simply the same as an IDX link from the Toronto Real Estate Board that supplies the listings that all the brokers put on the Toronto Real Estate Board. You can have those listings on your own website. Well, ICIWorld has been doing that since 1999. It's an IDX link too. And what we provide is the ability to link to the listings that other brokers have agreed to allow them to be on your website. So you can have thousands of residential and commercial listings on your website with one special thing, excuse me, and that is that people cannot click on the message numbers. Now, if you are not a member and you have our link, people can click on the message numbers, much like real estate boards. You can see the address, you can call the other broker, you can end up driving by the property and you'll see the for sale sign. So your website could be generating leads, but the leads are actually going to the original listing broker. Whereas the widgets from ICIWorld, they have to call you.
Can they ask you questions if they need to?
It's a good point. If anybody wishes to ask questions, you can actually unmute your phone. You can actually type them into the chat window. And the answer is yes, you can all ask questions during this session. Okay? Usually they'll all get answered during the whole session somehow. But we'll have a question and answer towards the end where you can actually ask questions. So we suggest that you write them down. All right. Now you're going to say, why should I have more than one website? Well, what we've kind of learned over the years is that websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and if they're only $16.50, it's ridiculous. These things used to be $3,000, $4,000 at one time, and I'm talking about mobile websites. And you can link all your websites together. And why would you want to have a website? Well, we have one of the busiest booths at the Toronto Realtor Quest, which is coming May the 10th and 11th. And if you don't go, shame on you. You can see more products and services in one day going to Realtor Quest at the Congress Center. If you're a member of the Toronto Real Estate Board, it's free for you. If you're not a member of the Toronto Real Estate Board, but you belong to CREA or AREA, you can go by paying a fee between, I think it's $50 or $60. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to it. And then you can attend for the day. Nowhere can you see as many products and services in one day as you can as this particular Realtor Quest show. And ICIWorld has one of the busiest booths. One of the reasons is we make a statement that you could have a $30,000 website, and it's not as powerful as the websites we supply from ICIWorld for $16.50. And it's mobile. And people, I'm going to go over a marketing plan today that every single person in real estate should try to get your mobile website onto the phones of every single customer and person you know. That way, a month from now, if they're looking for real estate, they can go to their phone, they can search the MLS, they can search exclusive, they can search residential, they can search commercial, they can see color photos, slideshow displays. They can see it all. They can even see buyers of properties. All of that can be on your website from 3 major world networks. And it's not just one network you should have. We're recommending that you have at least 3 because it's the major networks that give you the power in the industry, because when you place one listing, for instance, on MLS, everybody knows about it right away that's searching MLS. It's wonderful. It's the best service in the world. And so this is terrific. Now, what do you do with your exclusive information? You can now do the same thing with your exclusive information, but through ICIWorld. We're the largest national database of exclusive information now in the industry. So mobile websites are the new internet revolution, and they're important because now if one of your customers has your mobile website on their phone and they're talking to a friend of theirs who's looking for real estate, they can actually show them their own phone with your website and show that person the homes that are for sale on MLS. They can show the exclusive listings that are coming for sale, and they can search them by price ranges, by locations, all of that wonderful stuff, and they can show it on their phones. You know, we have a problem in the industry. You sell a property and the people love everything you do, and then 2 years later, they end up buying a home through someone else. Part of the problem is, of course, is that there was no keeping in touch with them on a regular basis. So we're going to cover how to do some of that, but one of the ways is to get your website as a shortcut on their phone, and you do it with your mobile websites from us from $16.50. You can have one of these crazy things, and it's beautiful, and you can design it any way you want to. You put a picture of a residential home, it makes it look residential. You put a picture of a commercial building, makes it look commercial. You put a picture of the skyline of the city of Toronto, it shows where you work. You can put the front page picture to anything you want. And let me just lower my phone, I'm not taking calls. Hang on, I should have lowered it earlier. Sorry about that, but there we go, we just put it down. So this is for licensed real estate brokers and salespeople worldwide. I don't care if you're in Miami, San Diego, Vancouver, Montreal, St. John's, it doesn't matter. It applies to you, and you can take advantage of these services. And those are the mobile services. We've already gone over them. If you find this sound is coming through loud, you can go to the bottom right corner of your computer and you can change the sound to make it lower. And then if you want to stop and pause the video when you see it at a future date, you can pause the video and stop it and then think about it. You can even go back and forth with the video. So we'll put this onto YouTube a little later so that everybody can see it. Is that okay, Nikki? Putting it on?
Have you shown the Bill's site?
Bill's site, I can do that. In fact, why don't we go and do that now? Do we have his address handy? I can probably get it. Okay. Actually, Bill might be online. And Bill, can you hear me, Bill? Bill's online listening, I think. If he's listening, Bill, can you come online? Do you have a moment? You have to change your audio to computer, Bill. If that's the case, I'd like to show your website. It would be kind of nice.
How about a live person?
A live in person right here. How you doing? Now let me see. Have I still got my webcam on? Let me just double check. Yeah, there's Bill. Come in closer here, Bill. There's this wonderful fella right here.
Even got a tie on.
Okay, yeah. I need your website. Stand right with me.
GTA Homes Today.
Okay, there's an example of a home that we've created. One moment, please. Oh, thank you. What a great suggestion, Nikki. Thank you. GTA Homes Today, and it's already in my memory because we were working together.
And remember, we are still working on it.
And so we're still working on it. So, you know, your website is actually like your office building on the internet. This is where people come. This is like your image, and you should put your heart, mind, and soul into it, and gradually over the year, and I'm suggesting it's almost up to a year before you really get the flavor of it. And this website, by simply changing a picture, can actually set the tone for what your website looks like. So there's a sample website. Now, you'll see how nice and clean it is, and I'm going to leave the video on. But what we're suggesting that makes you the money. Okay, Bill, thank you so much. And what really makes you the money are these two things here, residential and commercial. Now, Bill has gone back to his office. It's so convenient. You know, all of us have our own little cubby holes in places where we work. Would you believe one of my favorite places is in my car? I can be parked while my wife is shopping, or I take my mother out and she's going through the dollar store. And, you know, you can just sit in your car and be doing business from no matter where you are. And the two things, though, on a website that I'm suggesting from a broker's point of view is listings. Because 90% of people search the internet for listings. Now, if you've got all these listings on your website, such as I'm showing you, you have a chance to trigger a lead. I'll give you an example. Let's say we click on the MLS. You should have this on your website. And I've had real estate people say they've had to pay as much as $800 to install the IDX link on their website. That's what they've told me, and they can't believe they can do it free, included in their membership on ICIWorld. That's included. We can actually do that for you. The next thing is from this company here, and I'm going to go down to the bottom. This is a company called Point 2 Agent. ICIWorld is actually an official distributor of these websites. We're actually an official educator, and we actually are a first line of support for these websites. And the reason how we're able as a broker, designer of this website, is to make it powerful, because we put not just the MLS on here, which is absolutely essential and important, but we also put other homes on here that other brokers have agreed to allow them to be on your website. So here's some other homes that are coming on the system, such as you see here. And if we were to click on one of those, what you're going to see is what I call, and I'm going to let it come up first before I call it. There it is there. You're going to see Bill's picture, and then people can start going through and seeing these homes instantly. Like, this is right away. People, look at the size of that garage. Oh man, triple car, I love it, with even more room in the back there. But this is what I call the ultimate in marketing on the internet. When you can have photos like this, it gets better. Watch this. I'm going to make this, just one moment. Let me minimize all these other screens in the background. Hang on. I'm going to make this the size of a mobile phone. For some reason, I can't make it a little smaller. But anyways, let's say this is the size of a mobile phone. Isn't it wonderful if people can go on their mobile phone? And people, it's incumbent upon you as a salesperson to show your customers, every single one, how they can see beautiful homes. Everybody likes looking at homes and pictures, and now they can see them on their own mobile phone on your website. So it becomes a marketing strategy that I'm now sharing with you, that you should have your website as a shortcut on their phone. And we teach salespeople how to put shortcuts on other people's phones. There's a way to do it for the iPhone. There's a way to do it for the Android. And you should become an expert at helping people put your website on as a shortcut on their phone. People are going to love it. Now, so this is the beauty of having a mobile website. Now, I don't think, I'm going to go down to residential exclusives, and this is a good announcement for all our members. This is the old residential link from ICIWorld. It still works. If somebody clicks on, and I happen to be in Mississauga, I'll click on Mississauga, you'll see how fast, nice, and easy the information is going to come up, I hope. There it is. And you'll see the listings come up. The difference between this and all other services in the world is people cannot click on that number. So that means that they have to call you. They have no choice to call you. This is a lead generator. It's triggering a lead. If a person sees a listing, they have to call you, and they're not going to overlook it. This could be the home of their dreams. So you're going to get a call. Somebody's going to call up and say, I'm interested in message number 320524. Can you help me? And you're going to say, yes, I certainly can help you. Now, if you're a commercial rep and you don't want to sell residential, you can contact that other broker who's got that property and say, I have a lead for you. Is it 25% referral commission okay with you? Every one of you should be doing referrals on a regular basis here, triggering leads off the internet. How much do you make? Well, if the commission is 5% on that particular property, $65,000, I'll say 60 for the sake of argument, you split it, $30,000 to the selling broker and $30,000 to the listing broker, you would make 25% of the $30,000, and that's how much you would make for doing a 5-minute referral. Now, we have one broker in Peterborough who's done 15 referrals. The referrals are a little smaller priced in his area. He's actually made $45,000 for 75 minutes of work doing 15 referrals. If you have this on your website, you have a chance to trigger leads. If you do not have this on your website, you have no chance to trigger leads from this service. What else do you have? Well, we have a special widget that we're just now announcing. We're going to be announcing it at the Realtor Quest trade show, that there's now a residential widget that is mobilized. This one isn't quite mobilized, and I'll show you. That's what it looks like right there. You literally have to go down to the bottom and move the screen sideways to see the rest of it. Now on your phone, you can do it with your finger. Now I'm going to show you another website that's got it on there. So this is a message to every single member of ICIWorld. You got to get a hold of us and get the new residential widget, but let me show it to you. And I'll just use this particular website as one example. I don't even know if she's got it. Hang on. Let me click on residential exclusives there. Nope, she hasn't got it either. Hang on. I'm going to go to another one. I hope this one's got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one's got it. Here we go. Here's another sample of websites, and you're going to notice that the pictures are going to be changing here, and you tell me if this isn't lovely. This is an actual listing in Etobicoke that she has, and this is setting the tone, the image, the graphics. You should be thinking about the graphics and putting a little effort into coming up with photos that you're privy to, that you can relate to, that you can talk about almost as a talking point, whether it's a property like this or whether it's an image of almost anything, a location or buildings or whatever. But I'm going to click on residential here, go down to residential exclusives, and let's see if she's got it. She's got it. Now the beauty of this particular widget is important, because if you have a mobile website, let's pretend this is the mobile website that you have, this is the way the widget came up. And then you can say, for more information, please contact me. And then if people go down the page, this is the residential widget. So if I click on search database, these listings are coming in by the minute all day long. So this is somebody wants to buy a property. There's people here. You can just read through them. Toronto Young. Now when people try to click on that, they can't click on that number. That means that they have to contact, in this case, Irene, for any of the properties that they see here. Isn't that wonderful? You know, and coming for sale. This actually is spelled the word coming. I think it's only got one M in coming. And that's a problem because we have something called keyword searching. Watch this. If you come up here and go up to the top and go to keyword searching, there is a property here coming for sale. When we start advertising in all the residential publications, which we haven't even touched yet, but as the service grows, we take money from your memberships and we plow it back into advertising, and we're actually on the front page of major newspaper publications right now, mostly in the commercial real estate industry, which a lot of people read. I'm going to click on coming for sale and go down to the bottom and look at this. In other words, in the fast-paced market that we have right now in Toronto, where you can get like 100 people through a property on the weekend and end up with 20 offers and all that kind of stuff, look at these. You can find out about properties even before they're coming for, like before they're actually listed. Now, how do you handle that particular call when somebody calls you? Well, somebody calls you up on, let's say the very second one there, the one in Oakville, and says, listen, I'd like to find out more information. Can I have the address? You must not give the address if the property is not listed. You can speak about the property, but you must not identify it or give an address. You can tell the people that once you get the property listed, you will put them on a list and they can be one of the first people through the property. How does that sound? I should be getting it listed in about another 30 days and you'll be on the list. And that's how you get them listed. Now, we all know that the best exposure is to make sure that you can put it on MLS if you can. But this is another opportunity to start getting buyers all lined up yourself to actually show the property, so that once you get it listed, you can actually have a list of people all ready to see it. This can actually help you get the listing, because people will see, oh, they've already got some buyers. Maybe we should get our house ready a little bit earlier. Let's get going, get excited, because people don't know, you know, sometimes are they going to be getting any activity on their house, and they like to get some feedback if there's actual buyers to see it. There's actually some owners out there that would rather just sell it without even putting it on MLS as well. There's actually that case. There are some people that don't want all their lovely, beautiful furniture. You got a $10 million home. You don't want your Van Gogh paintings and all your beautiful furniture and all the interior of your house plastered all over the internet. Some people really like things done on an exclusive basis. And this is another way that you can kind of do that. You can sort the listings by haves or wants. You can do any keywords, and look at the keywords for residential real estate. If you want a cottage, you click on cottage, you go down to the bottom and you search, and bingo, up comes the cottages. So the system is set to handle basically everything in real estate in the industry, and it's just up to licensed real estate brokers and salespeople now to say, here's the new car on the block, you can get it, and we'll give you a little special at the end here in order to get this service working for you. Now, you'll also have commercial on your website, and the residential people say, I don't want commercial. However, you're missing one thing, the opportunities to do referrals. Now, if you go in and check it a little bit further and you go to Ontario Commercial, this is really like a store. If you go to Best Buy or if you go to a shopping mall, they have all kinds of different products. These are part of your products in the industry that you can be displaying within your website. If somebody wants an apartment buildings, and you might have thought that's residential, it's actually commercial investment and residential. People can click on that. Would you like to have over 400 apartment buildings on your website? Any one of these could end up triggering a lead, and you can do a referral. Now, the interesting thing on the referrals, if you have a large company right across Canada, such as Sutton Group, you could do a referral to another agent in that area and let him call that particular listing agent if you wanted to too. So there's ways that you can do referrals either to the other broker or to within your office as well. Okay, so that'll give you a little idea. Commercial, there's even FSBOs here as well. We actually allow licensed real estate people to post information on ICIWorld, absolutely free. However, the only people that can click on these message numbers that come up, let's click on Mississauga, there's 300 people from the public who have posted information on ICIWorld, absolutely free, but nobody can click on these. You have to be a licensed real estate member of ICIWorld to click on one of these, and you can get a hold of them. And for the commercial guys, we've had $25 million portfolio sold out of here. We've had 7 plexes in High Park sold right out of here. So there's ways to make connection. And some people, you'll see a lot of wants in here. Some people have got the buyer from here. They went to their MLS, found the property, went and showed it and sold that. So it actually works hand in hand with the real estate board. In fact, it's our wish someday that all real estate boards sort of adopt this as a secondary service to help them with information, every one of their members with information going forward. Okay, let's move on. You'll find that when I go through this presentation, if we go over the same thing, I just highlight the particular screen and then just kind of move right on if we've already covered things. I'm going to let you just take a picture of this. I'm going to save this for another time, but sometimes I go into it. Usually when we have a class with maybe 10 or 20 people and we've got 10 people early birds, we'll go over all of these apps that you can be putting on your phone. Every one of these apps can be really very, very helpful for you in your business career in real estate. Evernote.com, I use it every day. I'm actually writing a book. Part of it is in Evernote.com, a section of it. It can be there. Checklists for doing certain things. It's in Evernote. You can access Evernote from any device that you have, whether you've got an Android, an iPhone, a tablet, an iPad, anything at all, and your computer, you can access it. So if you click an idea at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's a great idea, I've woken up in the morning later on after going back to sleep and I can't remember what it was, and I thought it was a great idea and I can't even think of what it was. I write it down immediately and put it into Evernote. It can actually capture newspaper articles. It can capture Facebook and Twitter things. So if you're on Facebook and there's something you want to capture, you can save it to Evernote as well. The same thing with newspaper articles that you read, that may be something for health purposes, and I have a whole health section on my Evernote that I put all the things and how to eat more healthy and stuff like that. Key pass info, I counted them up the other day, 198 passwords. There's impossible, people, to keep track of your passwords unless you got something to do it. KeyPass.info works on every device. Just don't lose your main password or you're up the creek without a paddle. Okay, Dropbox, I could literally drop my computer now, and if I could get someone else in the office to pull up their computer, I can log into Dropbox and continue on with this presentation. Everyone should have Dropbox. It automatically saves everything right to, it's sort of like the cloud. If you have a cloud, you can do this as well, but I've been using Dropbox for years with a terabyte, and it literally has everything saved in Dropbox, and I can access it at any time. It doesn't matter what's on. Now, you only save the content of whatever you work on. You don't save the programs on Dropbox. The programs you have to reinstall on a new computer anyways. You can't save the programs to Dropbox. You save your content, your Excel files, your PDF files, your Word documents, your databases, all that kind of stuff you save there, not your programs. Workspace Macro Pro, that's keystrokes. If you're calling people in Kijiji all the time and want to send them a little email, you can go one keystroke and put in a whole paragraph or two with your contact information and pop it right into stuff. The same stuff that you're doing over and over and over, repetitive, you can use that program. We all know you can make long-distance phone calls using all these services, Magic Jack, Skype, WhatsApp. There's a lot of people that don't know that. That's why we put them here. So I know a lot of you know a lot of this stuff, but I have to cover it for everyone in the industry. So please have patience with me as I have patience when I work one-on-one with you. I cannot talk as fast as everybody thinks, so you just sort of have to have a little patience. Thank you so much. WhatsApp has now got phone calling in it. I'm talking to my wife in Spain. We press the button. She answers me just like I'm talking to you right now. It's amazing what's going on the internet. You can absolutely make worldwide phone calls absolutely free or for minimal dollars. Inman.com, any broker of record, manager, I think should maybe subscribe to Inman.com, and every licensed real estate broker and salespeople. If you want ideas on the challenges and the hardships that people are going through in real estate to make a buck, you can read about it, and you're going to read about solutions. You're going to read about successes. So Inman.com, I think, is a very good app to kind of get. It's about $100 a year or something like that. Find My iPhone. You should practice finding your iPhone, because when it happens, you're going to need to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, time can cost you. Be careful. Never, if it gets stolen, never approach the person without the police handy. There have been other people that have approached people who they found their iPhone and approached them, and then there was an altercation, and you could suffer from that. So get the police. One time, somebody ran away, and the owner tracked them down. He called the police. They went up to the second floor, and sure enough, the fella had it, but they couldn't find the phone. He had thrown it out the window. They found it. In other words, that's how good this tracking the iPhones and the Androids. Speedtest.net. Do not subscribe to anything on that service, but it is a way to test the speed of your service. And if you don't have at least 1 megabyte upload and 5 megabytes download, then you need to talk to your internet service provider, and after they check it out, they'll probably tweak it even without charging you. And then if you want to get it faster, you might have to pay an extra $5, $10 a month. But a lot of you are laboring at home. You click on something, you got to wait a long time. Everything should be a matter of a few seconds to bring stuff up on the screen. And if you're not doing it, it's probably your speed. Do not subscribe. I'm sorry, speedtest.net. Don't subscribe to anything there because you could end up with pop-up windows and stuff. But a lot of gurus, a lot of computer technicians use that to test the speed. My personal speed, I'm using a Cogeco cable. In my case, I have like a 10 megabytes upload and up to 60 megabytes download speed. That's to give you the range now that you should have. If you don't have a minimum of 1 up and 5 to 10 down, you got to get faster. And if your computer's over 3 years old, that might be the issue, but your router could also be the issue if you've had it more than 10 years. The apps are in ICIWorld. We have a major resource center there for people, snipping tool in Windows. If you wanted to see how that worked, you just type snipping, and next thing you know, it brings it up, and you can snip things right on your computer. Real estate apps, I'm not going to go through them, but you can be in front of a house, and if you're looking for properties from 5 to 600, and there's a house across the street that interests your customers, sometimes they want to go see it, and it puts them off on all the houses you have lined up. You can bring up your realtor.ca right on your own phone, and you could say, oh, that particular one is $750. It's out of your budget. They can rule it out and just continue on with your plan. So you can do that in your car. Make sure you're not driving. I saw Facebook yesterday, a transport trailer truck driving into 6 cars, and they killed some people because the guy was texting. You've got to be more careful. Everybody, myself included, everybody's got to watch that. Do not do texting, whatever you do. I know people glance at it for a GPS. I use it for GPS, so if I'm guilty of that, I am, but it seems to get me around. And the GPS, we do it, but not text. Texting will grab your brain. It grabs your brain and takes your mind off the road without you even knowing it, and you all know what I'm talking about. So be super careful. Just keep it off. Stick it away. Just close the phone, you know. If it rings, it's going to ring on your Bluetooth. Answer it there. Anyways, there's a bunch more. Sorry about that, but it touches the heart when you hear some of these tragedies. Okay, top CCIM, commercial real estate websites. There's there they are there. We're doing mainly a residential section here today, but we started as a commercial real estate service and now broaden out. Every single one of our brokers likes the opportunity to do residential because there's a lot of exclusive information, more than ever before. People don't know about it, but you can be working a lot more exclusive information to trigger leads for yourself. One lead, show a property, make 10 grand, go on to the next one. Saving keystrokes the rest of your life. If you don't have this on your computer, I don't know why, but there's my computer, and there's a whole bunch of keystrokes that I've here. If I want to log into my real estate board, I can click on that, and bingo, up comes my real estate board right off the bat. I didn't type anything in. You should not have to type anything in for your top 10 favorite apps that you visit on a regular basis every week. Put them on your favorites bar. This is not your favorites. This is your favorites bar. So if you want your email, you click on that. Whatever you want, you put it up there. You want Google, you can click on it. I did not type anything in, people. And then if you want to put them in favorites, you put them up there. If you only visit them once a month, you kind of do it that way. Now, in this particular case, I think I've also got some sample. I'll come back to that other thing I was going to show later. But that's called a favorites bar. If you need a little help on that, just book an appointment. You know how to do it. Go to ICIWorld.com, click on Make an Appointment. I just want to see if it actually works right now because it wasn't working before when I clicked on Make an Appointment. There it is there. And this is kind of good. If you have a lot of people making appointments with you, set this up on your website. A person can make an appointment. What they do is they click on, say, a 30-minute appointment that they would like to have with you. They can pick the day that they're interested. They click on Friday, and you'll see we go from 7 and 8 a.m. in the morning. They can click on 8 a.m., and if I was to click on Confirm and put my information in here, it shows right up on my handheld device on my Google Calendar. You tell me if that isn't fantastic.
No, that's right.
Okay, so these are great tools for the industry that you can be using on a regular basis, and it's also a great tool that you can be using with ICIWorld. Okay, let's move on. Okay, security. You know, one of the biggest issues out there now today is people having problems with security. This is a whole day seminar. What you can do is simply mark that down to ICIWorld/security, and I'm going to click on it. You can design special passwords that to make it work for you. Hang on one second. I'm just going to type it in here. /security. Every single person in your family should go to this page. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Security. I left out the E. I've got a problem with my keyboard, and I've ordered one. Hang on. Same as everyone. We're all with technology. Got to make it work. And when you go here, you're going to see that there's a security link. You link to that. This is the security page. Please click here. And then you get to this page, which is a password test. Now, if I was to go through this password test, I'm going to tell you, I can't believe it, how many people are doing passwords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4% security. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. John Smith. Ridiculous. 10%. But how do you make it a little bit better? Well, you can do capital letters. All of a sudden, you're up to 32%. Now, if you happen to put maybe, say, a funny sign in there, maybe a dash, you're up to 65%. So you can see by just adding other characters into various things that you can actually be, you know, making this a lot harder for people to kind of get to. And bingo, just a matter of a couple of characters and you can be right up to that, 100%. If you make it harder for them to get in to your computer, then you're going to be a lot more safer for all your stuff. Now, the other thing is, I personally do not put a password for any banking on my handheld device or any computer because I kind of feel like anything can be hacked into once it's on the internet, once it's on your computer. So anything to do with banking, I would not put it on a computer. But, you know, if somebody gets your login to Treb, what's the deal? What are they going to do? Put on a listing or change your name or something? I don't know. It's not like losing money, so to speak. So that's what you can watch out for. And the rest of that, if you don't know what the word phishing is, I'm not talking about FISHING, fishing in a lake. I'm talking about this fishing test. If you don't know what that is, it's almost like not knowing what a stop sign is driving a car. I'm not going to click on it and show you. We don't have enough time. We've got to move along. But you can come here, ICIWorld.net, and just type in ICIWorld.com, /security, and you will get to the page. You can write it down, everybody that's listening. And personally, I would connect it with a USB, HDMI cable and connect it to your television and have the whole family sit around. Why? Because there's all kinds of information from Bill Gates and others, how to stop signs of somebody trying to bust in your computer, trying to trick you to click on the link. You'll also see a scam here from some of the people from Africa who have tried to get in, and they're scamming people. And Microsoft's got articles in here, and you'll see videos, a sting operation, how they actually caught people that had scammed a doctor, a smart doctor, lost $300,000, and you will see how it's being done. And you can kind of go in there. Cyber criminals, 75,000 computer systems being hacked into. People have lost, $1 billion in North America from all this kind of stuff. So you got to take it seriously. I know in Burlington is one of the least safe places, according to some reports, where your computers are on upstairs, downstairs, in the rec room, on the first floor, and all the computers are open sort of all day long where people can kind of get into the things. And you need to read all this stuff and tie things down, tighten things up. And the incidences of things are starting to go down as people are getting more educated and learn. It's almost like wear your seatbelts and, stop smoking and all that kind of stuff. People are starting to take it seriously in the case of computers, and that's good. And you got to do it more and more. Never give up, never. Because no matter what you do, the scammers and everybody out there are trying to get smarter. They're trying to trick you in a better way. So you got to be sharper and more protective as well. Cell phones, I didn't turn mine off, but it is now. Instructors, we've had some marvelous instructors over the year. Garrett Clausen has been one of them. He's retired now. There's my personal information. I've been in the business just about 42 years, and we just won a basketball championship last night. And we had a nice banquet with all the boys in Burlington, Ontario. And now the CCIM, the reason I bring that up is a lot of these social media. This is part of how to promote your website as well, because a lot of your family members, they actually don't know how well connected sometimes you are in real estate. And they wonder if you can even do a good job, but they have to give you the listing. Well, you can dispel that notion when they come to your website and see that you got lists of buyers that other companies don't have. You've got lists of exclusive listings that other companies don't have. That shows how well connected you are in the marketplace of buyers, and you can be putting your websites on all of these various places. LinkedIn is important for every single real estate salesperson. It is like your business card on the internet. When people move into your area, they don't know much about you, but yet you've got a lot of credentials. Every one of you. You belong to the Canadian Real Estate Association, Ontario Real Estate Association, Toronto Real Estate Board. You've got codes of ethics and business conduct. Excuse me.
Some water?
I think this should be okay, maybe. And if you put all that in your LinkedIn profile, along with your website address, your charitable groups that you belong to, upcoming fundraising events, and then in your Facebook and on your website, you have a resource center that has all the resources. If somebody moves into your community, wherever it is in North America, you should have a list of at least 20 or 30 or 40 links. Where is the city hall? Where is the shopping? Where are the schools, the parks, the churches? All of those should be resources on your mobile website. And if somebody calls you and say, listen, can you give me an idea of an estimate? How much does it cost for a lawyer? You can show all lawyers' fees that they could be charging. How about calculating land transfer tax? All of those are available on the internet, and you can put a link to that information on your website to help all of your customers. So those are some of the reasons why those are used. CCIM.com, everyone should mark this down. You're a residential agent. Would you like to sell duplexes and triplexes? Well, you need to paint a picture how people make money. And if every one of you mark this down, CI101, I'm recommending that. I was a residential broker for 20 years, commercial for 20, got into it, and the CI101 program started to help sell. I started to sell commercial real estate as a direct result of taking CI101 because it paints a picture. You've got doctors and lawyers, a tremendous amount of wealth. Every one of you are privy to people that own a lot of things. And where did 90% of the millionaires made it? They made it in real estate. But if you don't know how to show them a picture how to make real estate, or how to make money in real estate, then you're not going to make any sales. But if you can show them how they make money in real estate, and you can start doing that with the CI 101 program, and then it's up to you if you want to go all the way and get your CCIM designation, which I have, but at least take CI 101 and it'll help you make more sales. For the people that do follow up on it, you will find someday that customers will not even want to buy another property through someone else. Why? Because they want your input. They want to know the before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate, and you're going to have more knowledge about that than the average salesperson, and as a result, you'll be making sales easier and through referrals as a result. So the two resources for you right now, the first one is CCIM.com. There's a series of courses. We run them at the Toronto Real Estate Board. I'm the past president of the chapter locally. I'm also the past membership chairman for the last 10 years. And we invite you to come and join the chapter. We meet regularly at the Toronto Real Estate Board. We have courses, technology, speakers, all of that. And you can join. It's only about $130 a year for membership in the actual chapter itself. I'm actually moving on. I haven't put it on here yet because I don't have the designation yet, called the CIPS. That's Certified International Property Specialist. But because I'm thinking worldwide all the time on this service, I'm going to be moving on into the Certified International Property Specialist field as well. And that'll be coming up and in the future as well. Now, here's some of the other instructors who've kindly consented to doing some more seminars so that when I'm busy doing other things, they can be doing things and doing seminars as well. Every one of them specialist and competent in their own right. I know Judy Casimir, she sold a $75 million office building through ICIWorld. And Alan Lake, just a great guy, bubbly man. I love the guy, and he's so funny all the time. And he does a lot of investments from Chicago to Toronto. Zan, what a beautiful list of services he helps all his people with. And so all of these wonderful gentlemen, Michael Avey just bought another property in Costa Rica and does a lot of business in Florida. And so all of these people are privy to some of the things going on in ICIWorld. And I know if you're a teacher, if you're an instructor, and you want to take our 2-hour presentation and we can work it into the way you do business, let us know. And we're going to start assembling more speakers all over North America to be able to present this in your community. We've already shown you the testimonials at the beginning. Whatever you do, go to ICIWorld.com, either mobile or otherwise, and read the testimonials. Let it be the inspiration that you can be making money with information, not just listings. The average real estate broker has less than 5 listings on a real estate board, but you can have 15 opportunities working for you literally as content on the internet. And each one of those listings, the haves and the wants we talk about, can trigger leads for you to make money. And when you do your first one, you'll say, oh my God, I can't believe it. I did it. And it's beautiful. And you get the taste of it. You're going to do more and more. And I'm telling you now, you can drive up and down the street. You come with me in a car and I can drive up and down the street and start to show you where you can do business right in your hometown, wherever you are in North America. FSBOs is just one. You go into a restaurant, you talk to the owner and say, listen, if I got you a buyer for your restaurant today, would you sell? How many of them would say yes? You know, that's an opportunity to do business, but they don't want that on the MLS. But there's a way that you could say restaurant, Mississauga area, $350,000 making money. You can do that kind of thing. And when someone calls you, tell them you'll put an agreement in place first, and you can show them on Saturday, excuse me, and then on Friday, you go get yourself a 48-hour exclusive listing to show that property. Why is it exciting about this particular seminar today? Well, there are thousands of dollars being made in real estate using the internet. And it's literally, of all the industries that are on the internet, it's literally real estate that provides one of the highest returns on investment. And that's because one lead can make you $20,000. One person calls on an industrial building in Scarborough on ICIWorld. He shows the property, he spent 2 hours going back and forth with a presentation. They really wanted it, $50,000. So those are the kind of things. The information is the gold that is on the internet. Now, some people have said to me, you got a lot of older listings on ICIWorld, and what I say to them, you do not have to look at them, because everything is dated. You can actually, in fact, on our mobile devices, they only show listings up to 90 days old. That's a message to everybody on ICIWorld. If you're not making money, check the age of your listings. If they're not less than 90 days old, you got to refresh them. One keystroke, bingo, sends it out to the industry, 20,000 emails, puts it to the top of the database that's getting 40,000 people a month. So those are the kind of things that you got to take responsible. A responsibility for the whole industry has to take responsibility for their information and keep it up to date on ICIWorld when it comes to information. We don't fine you if you don't market sold. A lot of people have sold properties and they've left them on ICIWorld. So you don't have to look at properties past 90 days, but I'm going to tell you now, the smart ones that have the time will prospect with those older listings. If you have a listing that's 2 years old, is it possible that first of all, the building is still there, the people are still there, just the circumstances have changed. Secondly, if it's a buyer who's been looking for things, they always are looking for things year in and year out. That listing could be good for 10 years. So it's almost like a gold mine here. When you think about it, you might have to dig through some dirt to get to the gold, but the gold nuggets are here. It's a market system. Sometimes people have control of properties and sometimes they don't. They just know about it. You have to qualify them so that you don't waste your time, but they're all here. You can find them. Now, this is where the statistics of NAR comes in handy for you to understand and feel get charged up to go after the for sale by owners. You're going to see that of all in North America, from the National Association of Realtors, only 9% of people actually sold without an agent. So all those for sale by owners out there, they're actually being sold by licensed real estate people, and 92% of them are using the internet, and now it's up to 50% are using mobile websites. Quick ditty, we usually charge $2,000, and we have other upcoming seminars at real estate boards where we actually charge $2,000 for this seminar. However, it's strictly educational when we do them at a real estate board. In the case of doing them in real estate offices, we do them not for $2,000. We actually do them free in exchange for allowing us to do a 6 to 8 minute commercial on our services. If that's okay, Nikki, we do 6 to 8 minutes. All brokers agree to that. So basically, I'll do a quick commercial on our service right now. There's about 30,000, actually we're up to almost 40,000 haves and wants. 75% are exclusive, not on MLS, so you need to know that. Commercial and residential, properties coming for sale, FSBOs, assignments, and more. You can get information from builders and that kind of things too, and put them on here. There are 2 major world databases. Database number 1, you have to be a member, and then when you advertise, the public can read it, pick up the phone, make an appointment, go show the property, and make some money. Database number 2, the public can post information absolutely free, but only the members of ICIWorld have access to that. Haves are the properties for sale and for lease. Wants are what people want to buy. It's actually being overlooked by the whole industry. All the wants that are out there, you can now post them on ICIWorld very nicely. We're the largest collection of buyers in real estate in one spot on ICIWorld. We do both commercial and residential. We recommend there's simply buttons that go onto your website. And if you're specializing in residential, you put the commercial button down low. But someday, one of those residential buyers for a $2 million home happens to own a $2 million building, and he might want to sell it or buy another one. They can actually go to your website, find it. You can do a referral. You've got to be doing referrals. Doctors do referrals. Lawyers do referrals. Everybody does referrals. If you have a heart problem, the doctor refers you to a heart doctor. If somebody wants a shopping center, you refer them to the person who's got the shopping center. So you should be a general practitioner and be doing referrals from your website and offer all these services from your website. We do a lot of emailing to the industry. Our biggest problem now is that a lot of it is going to junk and spam mail. That's a problem for you and for us because now you don't get notices for a lot of these things that are going on. There's no reminders that come to you say check the latest listings today in your community. So you're missing the latest listings in your community because our emails are going to junk and spam. You've got to put them, you've got to sort of whitelist ICIWorld.ca, ICIWorld.com, ICIWorld.net. You got to whitelist that. You got to check your spam settings and say not spam in Google. And we're going to be doing what we can to try to get mail to you. Every mail piece that we send out, there's a beginning. At the very beginning, you can unsubscribe. For anybody that doesn't want to have our mail, you simply unsubscribe. We don't want to send you one thing if you don't want it. And then once you get off it, it's hard to get back on. You have to literally call us and we'll have to do a search if you ever want mail back again. We literally have the exposure is incredible. There's over 18,000 pages on the internet doing various things. So by simply placing one ad on ICIWorld, your information appears on 18,000 places throughout the internet. There's over 2 million hits monthly from people in 138 countries. And your information appears on now up to 2,000 other brokers' websites if you want it to. At the bottom of every listing, there's a question, will you allow your listing to be on other brokers' websites? Well, if it's an MLS listing, you definitely should answer yes. If another broker brings you a buyer, would you work with them? Keep in mind on ICIWorld, we recommend against putting addresses on anything. We suggest you use ICIWorld like the electronic equivalent of classified ads in a newspaper. Do you put addresses in the classified ads in a newspaper? Usually you try to trigger a lead during the term of the listing first, identify the person who is interested, and then if you wish to give them an address, at least you know who you're dealing with. If you put an address on ICIWorld or the picture of a property, people can figure out which one it is and end up going direct. They can even outwait your MLS listing until it expires. They can talk to the owner and say, listen, after it expires, I'll come and talk to you. And then you wonder why you're having trouble getting a relist. Wouldn't it be a good idea to identify people during the term of the listing? And that's why we're suggesting that you don't even put addresses on ICIWorld. But you can link to your website to the photo if you want to, and you can have photos on ICIWorld. The answer is yes. But if you have, let's say, a $10 million office building and you put a photo, everybody's going to know which one it is, and they can go direct to the owner. Sort of a downside of our industry, but that's the way it is. When you're in an ocean of people, 3.5 billion, actually 3.7 billion people using the internet, there's a lot of sharks in the ocean, and the sharks will try to go behind your back because there's a lot of money involved. You'll see how we're advertising on the Mississauga Real Estate Board, just a lot of wonderful people, made a lot of great friends at all members of the Toronto Real Estate Board. Same thing with Brampton as well. So we're in a family of, this is my business family, all of us in real estate, brokers and salespeople and managers and all the girls behind the desk doing all the work and making sure things run smoothly for you. We exhibit at the Toronto Real Estate Board Realtor Quest. Whatever you do, make sure you come by. We're actually going to give the same special, and the special is only good until May the 10th and 11th. So if you're listening to this video afterwards, you're going to have to attend Realtor Quest. We do have a special on each year, which will change from year to year. But the special today, and I'm talking, what are we, April the 6th or so, 2017, I'm giving this special now for 1.5 years. If you go to ICIWorld.com and you type in ICIWorld.com/ and the word corporate plus, you can get the special. How does it work? It's $319 per year for ICIWorld for unlimited ads. We'll design a website. The websites are separate. They are $19 per month. They're free for 1 month and then $19 a month. Or if you pay it by the year, they're $199 per year. If you divide that by 12, it works out to $16.50. We will totally design it up for you, set it all up. It's the same price whether you get it directly from Point 2 or from us, But the advantage is when you get it from us, you have 2 levels of support. You have a complete design team that works with you. It's included in your membership on ICIWorld. Now, we said that it was $319 for 1 year, but the special today is $240, not just for 1 year, but for 18 months. So anybody that wants to join today, from listening to this right up until May the 10th of 2017, you can go to ICIWorld.com/corporate plus, CORPORATEPLUS. And then you can sign up from there, and then just make an appointment on the main page at ICIWorld.com, and we'll get together with you there. Your renewal fees will be $319. We have up to 1,000 members. They all pay $319. However, we have something special called a sponsorship program. If you get someone else to join the service by sponsoring them or referring them to us, the day that they join, we will send you an email and we will make your renewal $240. So in other words, your renewal can be $240 just by referring somebody to our service. The nice thing about it is the new person joining can join for $240 for 1 year. So just by mentioning your name, they can join for $240. Otherwise, it's $319 for them to join. People are always saying, Gary, what happens if I get you 3 or 4 more? We add 3 months onto your service for each one. So theoretically, if you refer 3 or 4 more, you actually would get a year free. So that's our way of growing the service. If we had to pay salespeople, we'd have to charge $600 a year and give people $300 commission to make a sale. And we find that why not just use all the members of the service to help grow the service, because the more information that becomes available to each and every one of you, it's like making the gold mine bigger and bigger and bigger for everyone to make a connection to do deals. Let's move on. The Realtor Quest, by the way, is the largest, one of the top 3 largest trade shows in the world. With 44,000 members of the Toronto Real Estate Board, there's approximately 8,000 to 10,000 people that attend this particular trade show. Nowhere can you see as many products or services in 1 year as you can at this trade show.
Can I ask you a question?
Question coming in from, yes, go ahead.
There's a lot of our realtors who want to start doing work with builders. Like
Yes.
Working for them. So can you create websites for different projects that builders offer so it's connected to their ICI world?
We're going to suggest that you can create we specialize in the real estate brokerage side of building websites. So if you want to have a page within your website for different projects, you can actually do that within your website. And if you have, there's 3 levels of website. One is the beginning, the express website, which is $199 per year. There's a professional website, which is approximately $550, $600 a year. And then there is an elite website, which is $1,400 a year. That's the one I have, but you don't need that. If you're going to have, for a brokerage office with many people, you can have that one. But the professional website allows you to build pages within your website, and it could be for individual projects, and you can have a domain name going directly to that page within your website. And that's one way to kind of do it. So it is possible to do. The answer is yes. And you'll see how we're on the front page of all these various trade magazines. And if I have a number of them in the office, we're literally on the front page. We work very nicely with the Business Exchange, the Commercial Exchange, the Commercial Investor, REM magazine that goes into every real estate office. We're in all these publications. And that's because if we get one person calling you because of one ad, and you go and make $50,000, all because we're doing this for you. Exposure, and then you type in Ontario commercial real estate into Google, you'll see we come up on the first page out of literally 9 million results. The widgets, we've actually shown you the widgets. I don't know if we have to go into that in any more detail because we're going to start wrapping up. The widgets were those particular buttons. In fact, I see how quickly I can get to a widget for Sutton Group here, just because that's where we're broadcasting from. Where's my little button here? Okay, when you go to ICIWorld.com, you can do this on your own time and see a lot more examples of websites. You click on this for members down here. And as you go down the page, you'll see number 3, turnkey mobile websites. And you can just order your website right from here. You can click here to see samples. Right here, there's more samples here. And you'll see various samples websites. And I'd like to see them by real estate company. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to come down and we'll take a few from Sutton Group. And I've got a few of them here. I'll try the very first one just for the sake of argument, and that's Bill's website. Now, Bill's website, these are the widgets from ICIWorld. It's this one, Residential Exclusives, and it's this other one called My Haves and Wants. Now, Bill, we're recommending you get yourself up to 15 opportunities to do business. Bill's just got started with us. He's got one, but he wants a condo in Mississauga, $250 to $325. And if you could find it, he'd buy it tonight. Well, there are some new condos being built that could actually match that description. You go to ICIWorld.com and search for it, and you can find it actually. And then these would 1, 2, 3, 4 are all from ICIWorld, starting with the World one. This is the World Commercial one, where you can actually go in and choose your business area, Ontario. And if you wanted to stop at the Greater Toronto area, you could. Business category, you can pick any business category you wish. If it happens to be apartment buildings, you could. You could choose the buyers or the sellers. You could choose the haves. You can go longer than 3 months old if you wanted to. We'll leave it on 3 months, and we'll just sort them on price. So here's the latest apartment building category, sorted by price in the GTA, and there they are. These are all less than 90 days old. There's a triplex coming for sale. There's all different kinds of things coming here, and you can search them on Bill's website. And when Bill gets a call on one of these, you can make an appointment, go sell it, and make $30,000. So it becomes incumbent upon Bill to get more traffic to his website. That is the subject of another webinar that we do, and that you can register for on ICIWorld.com. Click on For Members and register for the webinar. That's open to all licensed real estate brokers in the world.
How come there's no Sutton Group Sutton anywhere?
How come which?
It's a brokerage name.
The brokerage is actually mentioned in two places right here, and that's a good point. It has to be registered here, and there it is right there. Now, as we get into this, the Sutton Group logo can be put on here someplace as well, which we recommend that be done. And but I'd like to see it right in here as well. And maybe I can talk to point 2 about how they can get that in there. I agree with you on that. It's also under Contact Me if we did the Contact Me button, and there it is there as well.
Yep, no, that's fine.
Okie doke.
Gotta be there somewhere.
All right, so that's a sample. Now these widgets can actually be put on any website in the world. We actually work with over 30 website companies out there where you don't have to get the website from ICIWorld. You can actually just get the widgets and put them on your website. We've got about 6 minutes left. We're going to get through here. Each of our sessions is done in a little different way, and we did it a little different today as normal. How to work exclusive information, and I'm going to cover that in the next 6 minutes and then finish off here. So there's a lot. This becomes your inventory on the internet. It's like having a shoe store. If you don't have any shoes in your shoe store, you're not going to sell any shoes. If you don't have information on the internet working for you, you're not going to trigger any leads. And we're going to show you now how easy you can be getting information to trigger leads. It becomes your inventory on the internet. And if you wonder about it, read the testimonials. Over 50 pages of testimonials doing deals. I'm surprised people haven't just joined hand over fist after reading the testimonials to say, hey, they're doing it. It's like this car moves. Wow, you just got to get in and turn on the key and go. It all started from a book called At the Speed of Thought, Business at the Speed of Thought. You know, before every listing is an MLS listing on the Toronto Real Estate Board, it is actually a thought in your head. A customer calls you and says, come on over next month, I want to think of selling my house. Can you give me an idea of the price of my house? That is just a thought. It's a thought in the owner's head. It's a thought in your head as a real estate salesperson. So if they say, I'd like to put my house for sale the 1st of May, we got to make a move, we want to do it before school year, come on over. That is a thought. So we're going to now show you how to work those thoughts in a compliant method with RICO and all other licensing bodies. And all of these thoughts are in the industry right now, whether it's a FSBO, an open listing, an exclusive listing, they're all thoughts. These are not listings on a real estate board. There it is, people. I'm going to leave this here for the next few minutes. You should get your cameras out and take a picture of this right now. Get your cell phone out. Take a picture. I'll give you a moment. Now, we've had some people that have not made money on ICIWorld. And I asked them right off the bat, by the way, we have a measuring device. It's called our pledge. Never go longer than 90 days without doing business. Never go longer than 90 days without doing. This is for you now, Nikki, as well. If anybody says, you know, Nikki, that fella that came into your office, ICIWorld, I haven't made any money with the service, you can ask them, do you know the 3 questions? If they don't know the 3 questions, they have not been applying this. If you're talking to the owner of a restaurant or a FSBO, a home that's for sale in your area where people are thinking of selling it privately, you go to Kijiji, they're listed with FSBOs from owners. In the newspaper, in the Toronto Star, tonight in the newspaper classified ad section, there's owners that have got properties for sale. You call them up and you ask them, listen, if I brought you a buyer, would you pay me a commission? Everybody gets a yes for that. The next question is, will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing to show the property once I have a buyer? You get, that's a verbal presentation. Listen, if you can get it in writing, you don't have to do this. But if you can't get it in writing, then you ask this question. The third question is you ask for permission to advertise their property. I'm going to do it without disclosing the address. And you give them that answer. The people that haven't made money, we had one gentleman say, Gary, I tried your 3 questions. So I asked him, what was the first question? He says, well, I asked him, would they pay me a commission? And the people said no, because they didn't want to list it right now. I couldn't get anywhere with them. They missed the question, the second part in red. You know, it took me a year to learn out why some people didn't make money, because I wasn't digging down far enough to find out why they didn't make money. And now I dug down far enough, they were not saying if I bring a buyer. And then they would say, I tried to get a 48-hour exclusive listing, but they wouldn't give it to me. It's not a 48-hour exclusive listing when you're talking to them. It's only a 48-hour exclusive agreement to show the property once I have a buyer. I might not get a buyer. But once I get a buyer, can I call you up and then ask for a 48-hour exclusive listing to cover my showing? You know, part of these ideas I'm showing here, one of them came from Lake Tahoe. In Lake Tahoe, you can go skiing at the top of the mountain, and when you get down to the bottom, you can actually go swimming in the lake. Well, you'll be halfway down and you'll be out of snow, but you can get down to the bottom and go swimming. Anyways, a lot of the movie star homes that are in the mountain are sold this way, exclusively. They don't want everything broadcast all over the place in a lot of cases. $13 million home for sale and everything and everybody knowing about it. So they market it exclusively, $13 million residential property, Lake Tahoe. That's it. You're not going to hear anything more than that. Because if you start to give too many clues, you can figure out what it is. And then you ask them and you tell them, may I advertise your property? I'm going to do it without disclosing the address. So the person says, may I advertise your property? And the person says no, because they don't want their restaurant or business plastered all over the internet. But if you give them a copy of the ad, Mississauga restaurant, $350,000 making money, it does not give the address. So you might want to write out the actual ad that you would put on ICIWorld. And then the person says, well, if that's what you need to get yourself a buyer for my property, go ahead. I'm all for it. And that you're going to find that if you ask these questions properly, you're going to start getting information. You start putting on ICIWorld, presto, bingo. Next thing you know, you're getting people calling you. My first offer, I only sell properties to my own family or for my own family. That's it. I do not sell real estate in general. Every inquiry goes onto the FSBO area, and the only place I ever sell properties for my own family, and it's helping them out a bit. Now, in my case, my son had a property for sale in Milton. I put on coming for sale in Milton. Literally within 24 hours, I had another broker who had a buyer for it, and I called my son back and said, listen, do you want to show it or wait till a listing signed? They wanted to show it right away, so we did. They actually made an offer. But we know that by putting it on MLS, you can actually get more money sometimes for a property, because if you exclude a service or exclude buyers, you could actually be missing doing deals for a higher price. So every owner would like you to market on all the competent services in the industry today. And so it turns out that when we did get the offer signed, or pardon me, the listing signed, we got some people through the property. Those people actually lost out by about $10,000, but it was activity in the beginning that the owners really kind of liked and appreciated. But we actually did an open house, had a number of people through, had offers on the following Tuesday, and did all that and got a little bit more. So that can actually work. And it could end up being the highest buyer. In this case, it wasn't quite. But also, because of a time factor, you can actually end up selling a property faster and quicker without the bother. And some people don't care about the money. We read about that. There was a letter supplied to somebody in Oakville that they said they really wanted that home for these various reasons, and they actually got the home for less money than another higher buyer. So there's various reasons that this can work. Here's the reason why, people, and you should mark this down, of why you must not give the address. Now, each of you have hundreds of legal implications of having to watch things in real estate so you don't get into trouble. This is one of them. A registrant shall not include anything in an advertisement that can reasonably be used to identify specific real estate unless the owner of real estate has consented in writing. The key word is identify. You must not identify or give an address of a property. Now, when somebody calls you, the first thing you're going to do is they're going to ask you for the address. You can make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I'll try to make arrangements for Saturday. And then on Friday, you go get yourself a 48-hour exclusive listing agreement to show that property. This gives you more opportunities to make money in real estate than you ever had before using that concept in real estate. Now, coming for sale is the same thing. You put people on a list and you tell them, once I get the listing signed, I'll give you a call back and you can be one of the first people through the property. Here's an example of some of the things you can be doing. Mississauga restaurant, making money, does not show the address. Same thing with the triplex. But if I said this triplex was at Bloor and Ossington next to the Pizza, it's giving it away. You must be careful. If I said I had a Lindsay Esso gas station, that's giving it away because there's only one Esso gas station in Lindsay. If you want to market this, you should say branded gas station 1 hour to Toronto. Now, when you join ICIWorld, you have a one-on-one quality approach to helping you on the service. You literally make an appointment and it's dedicated to you. That 30 minutes to 60 minutes time when you make an appointment is dedicated for you at your own pace, and we make sure you know how to do these various things. That second one, there's only one shopping center in Brantford worth that much, and so you actually could be giving away what it is that you have by saying it that way. In this case, you might just say $30 million shopping center Canada. You might not even say Ontario. The last one here in Peterborough, there's lots of shopping centers around 500,000, so maybe you don't have to worry about that. So to wrap up, mobile websites, $16.50. They're free for 30 days. You can take them for $19 a month with no contract and see how they work for you. We can link them all together. We recommend you keep all of your existing websites. Do not let them go. We think we can help you market and get leads to all of your websites. We support your existing website with our services called How to Promote Your Website. We help you with meta tags and keywords and SEO because we've attended World Search Engine Conventions, and we share that in our How to Promote Your Website seminar that comes once a month. Everybody in the real estate industry should attend it. It's another view on how to promote your website and to appreciate the value of setting up your website correctly in the first place. You could be spending $300 a month on trying to get yourself up on pay-per-click, but then it could be like a sieve where the water just goes right through a sieve. Your customers could be just flowing through the sieve and you're not capturing them, and we're going to show you how to do some of that to trigger leads for you. And that's where we say we support all websites in the world. Every website company, doesn't matter what it is. We simply, when you join, we send you an instruction. You order the instructions for the widgets. We send you the instructions by email. You forward it to your website programmer. You get them installed. But much like a doctor that has an operation, when you finish, you must call us to do a follow-up appointment. This stuff is important. There's thousands of dollars at stake. Let us check it out. Make sure it's working good for you to trigger leads, because if you're making money, you'll always want to be a member. although some of our members retired, they've made so much money. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one. Pardon me for doing selling along the way. If we don't, how do you get these things working, you know? You gotta give me a break here sometimes, people. I know I do a lot of selling, but it's good for you, so I feel good about it, getting you going, and I love hearing the testimonials of people doing deals. So we follow it up with webinars on how to promote your website. We've got blogs and YouTube channels on how to do this stuff too, so you can do this stuff all in your own time. You optimize your opportunities. You only, by the way, people say, I don't have the time. Let's cover that. There's only two things you do on ICIWorld. Number one, you're going to search from time to time. You do it on your phone. You can do it while you're standing in line at Tim Hortons. See the latest listings in your city. If you're in Mississauga and don't search the latest listings in Mississauga or Brampton on your phone on ICIWorld, you are missing opportunities to do business. Secondly, you need to add your haves and wants from time to time. If you don't have your haves and wants put on ICIWorld, you're actually a secret agent in that particular case. And that's one thing you don't want to be, because it does not contribute to making money. You want to get your information out here where you can qualify it, and that's one of the valuable services that you provide for owners and buyers of real estate. You can qualify the tire kickers, curiosity seekers, time wasters, thieves, and the crooks that are on the internet from the real buyers. We're going to be doing seminars in the future on how to qualify people, and that's going to be coming up, and that's going to be featured with another gentleman called Daryl McCullough, who has been qualifying people for years in the commercial real estate industry, which can help you in residential real estate as well. So with one click, you reach a whole industry of people by email, by all kinds of ways, just by adding it with one click. And we want to make sure that you know how to post information yourself and keep it up to date, less than 90 days old. The nice thing about the website, you only have to log into a minimum of once a month, and that's just to do a little checklist to make sure everything's working. We'll go over that with you. And most things work on autopilot. The information on your website is updated absolutely daily by the minute, and you don't have to do a thing. As a member of ICIWorld, this is where all brokers of record and managers say, listen, did you give ICIWorld a call if you didn't make any money in 90 days? You give them a call and we'll go over these items. And most people recognize they didn't do this, this, or this. They didn't have the widgets working. They didn't have 15 opportunities on ICIWorld. We look at their listings. They had them in the wrong categories. They had a have as a want. They had a want as a have. This is a free market enterprise. We're not like the Toronto Real Estate Board, where we've got all kinds of people checking your listings when they go on here. But if you're not making money, that should be a clue. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Give them a call. Let them check over your listings, and we'll go over and check all this stuff for you. It's all included in your membership. That's it for today, and you can actually go to ICIWorld.com/corporate plus to get the special and then make an appointment. That's it for us for today. Normally there's a feedback questionnaire that'll come up on your screen, but today it's not that way, but for other seminars there are. But if you wish to send us some information, and we love hearing about you, it's customer service@ICIWorld.com. That completes our session for today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you, and that's it for today, and I'm going to sign off on this webinar right now. I'll get to the end of our screens here as a summary, and then we're going to stop the recording now and wish everyone all the best and look forward to hearing back from you.